Hi, I'm Stephen Meneses. I'm here to welcome Mike Ellison, Democratic candidate for House District number 19. Thank you for being here today.
And thank you for having me. Yeah, this is a real pleasure.
You're welcome. Mike, can you tell us at least 3 of your positions that would encourage a senior person with disabilities to vote for you?
Well, generally speaking, the theme of my campaign since the beginning has been restoring the American dream and making that a reality for all Oregonians. I think, and a big part of that is, being able to retire comfortably, or if you have to leave the workforce for any reason, just making sure that you have the security you need. More specifically, I think we have a moral responsibility to protect the most vulnerable in our society. So that includes, holding the people accountable that may seek to take advantage or abuse seniors or our disabled persons. And I'm also, an advocate for increasing our access to affordable housing and access to affordable health care and reducing prescription drug costs.
Excellent, thank you. Oregon Project Independence is a program that's kept seniors and people with disabilities in their home, and yet every year proposed funding for OPI is significantly cut. What will you do to ensure and protect funding for this cost-effective program?
I think it's past time that Oregon does something to generate additional revenue. We need to get out of this cycle of finding places to cut public assistance. There's programs across the board that we have a responsibility to meet, and there's a lot of corporations in the state, multinational businesses that are extremely profitable right now that I don't feel are paying their fair share. And so, I think coming up with a different structure to increase our revenue through that avenue is very important, so that we can fund programs like OPI that are proven to be effective.
Mike, what will you do on a state level so that seniors and people with disabilities no longer face a lack of accessible and affordable housing?
Affordable housing is definitely, we're in crisis mode right now, and I think there's 2 approaches we need to take. The first is to increase the stock of available affordable housing throughout the state. And then we also need to have certain tenant protections, so people with low income or on a fixed income that are facing these extreme rent hikes we're seeing right now, making sure that these rent hikes aren't forcing them out of a stable place to live. And then we also need to limit the use of no-cause evictions. So through increasing our available housing stock and protecting tenants, I think will go a long way towards keeping seniors and disabled persons in stable housing.
Very good, thank you. How would you prioritize state funding, including funding that is matched with federal funds, for services to an increasing senior and people with disabilities population?
As I said a little earlier, I think a role of government and a role of elected officials is to protect our most vulnerable populations. So when you're prioritizing areas for funding, people who need the most should see our available funding first, and that would include seniors and disabled persons, making sure that we're taking care of our communities.
Very good, thank you. How will your experience shape the work you will do on behalf of seniors and people with disabilities?
I've always been someone that has just had a natural desire to be of service to my community, whether it's through volunteering, my time as an electrician, or just in general, whether it's going over and helping a neighbor with an electrical issue. I've always had the desire to be of service and try to do the best I can to help improve people's lives. And so my experience in that, I think, is a natural fit for helping these communities.
Well, thank you for your responses.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Nice to have you here.
Yeah, this was a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. This is Mike Ellison, Democratic candidate for House District number 19. Thank you.
Thank you.